Good evening to all of you that have assembled here this evening. I come here with a heavy heart because my grandson is a graduate of Paul Roberson High School. My grandson currently holds 2 master's degrees, and his peers, many of his peers do as well. Earlier in December, I had the occasion upon receiving documents from the Department of Education that they were planning on phasing out Paul Roberson High School. And with that, I penned a letter to then Chancellor Joel Klein. And my letter went as, I'm writing to express my opposition to the proposed plan. The students and staff of Paul Roberson deserve an opportunity to be all that they can be. Appropriate resources must be provided to assist them in their efforts. Several years ago, as a member of the New York City Council, I provided a technology resource room here and computers. Under the leadership of Dr. Marsha Lyles, the school flourished and students were pleased to be a part of the Roberson family. As I indicated, my grandson is a graduate and currently holds 2 master's degrees, an MBA and a Master's of Public Administration. It is the hope and desire of my colleagues who represent the area. The other elected officials that are not currently present, I represent them well. As well, I am the chairperson of the New York State Council of Black Elected Democrats. It is the hope and desire of my colleagues who represent the area that the board would use the transformation model as opposed to phasing out and closing the school. The transformation model would allow for the school to be positioned for federal funds that would help assist the school to improve whatever deficiencies that exist. The closure of other schools in the borough and the sending of those students to a school experiencing challenges is not a good model. Schools that are attempting to build their academic profile should be allowed the opportunity with appropriate resources for the challenges before them. And I say that over and over and over. Not only do I represent Paul Roberson, I also represent Boys and Girls High School, where New York City Department of Education comes in and says, we're going to do this, and nothing is happening to the extent that they have agreed. I'm also deeply concerned that it seems as though that since the mayor has taken over the responsibility of the schools, one that I did not vote for when it came before us in the State Assembly, I did not vote for mayoral control of New York City schools. School Board 16 for 9 years. I know what it means to have representation where parents have a voice, teachers have a voice, and the children have a voice. And it is not happening under this administration. The other concern that I have is that when a school begins to experience some difficulty, then we want to change the rules and we want to eliminate it like it's on a balance sheet ledger. Our children are not statistics. They may be for the purposes of doing certain things in terms of charting, different things that they want to chart, but our children have to be taken care of. Our children in our community have not been given their fair share. Charter schools, as well as they may have their role, but charter schools also are having their challenges. And I believe that we need to look at what we're doing before we start to closing schools in our communities. It is not a charge-off like on a balance sheet that you say that, no, this is not working, let's get rid of it. The whole landscape of public education is being destabilized under this administration. We have to look at it for what it is. It is destabilization of the public school system leading toward eradication of it. We do not, schools are not a business. Education is to move people to another level so that they can become those people that they need to be in our society. Education has always been the panacea for everybody, whether they started at the lowest level to the middle level to the highest level. Education is the key for everyone. It is not about power and wealth. It appears as though that all that's being discussed around public education is whether or not they meet the balance sheet. I'm standing here on behalf of our children, the 56th Assembly District, and all children in the state of New York that are experiencing the abuse of power and wealth in this state. Our children need good teachers, and if there are deficiencies within the schools, then they need to be addressed. I have not been one to settle for deficiencies if they existed. If they exist, then we take care of those deficiencies. It's just like if someone is sick, what do? We give them some medicine to be able to assist them to get well. We want to make our schools well. We want them to be whole. We want our children to be able to be successful. We want our children to be successful. But we cannot continue to pile on schools that are having academic challenges because the schools are not receiving the resources. I'm saddened by what's taking place all over. Every day, teachers are coming to me, parents are coming to me to talk about how their children are being abused. And they're being abused in the schools because children are being told that you're not good enough. You're not good enough, and therefore we're going to put a charter school in here, and we're going to fix that charter school up, and we're going to divide the school up, and then set one group of parents against another. That's a divide and conquer mechanism. We know it well. We're dividing our families. It is not a good thing. So I would ask that the Department of Education would look more closely at what they're doing. They begin plans before actually that they have looked at all of the issues. I think that the resolution that has been submitted here this evening, I'm in favor of that resolution, and I plan to move forward on it, talking to everyone that I can to ensure that we do not close or phase out Paul Roberson High School. I'm requesting that we begin to look at the transformation model or the turnaround model, whatever you want to call it. But I think Paul Roberson needs to continue to remain in this community as the Paul Roberson High School. Paul Roberson was a scholar. Paul Roberson was an athlete. Paul Roberson was a man of great accomplishments. It would be an atrocity to say that we're phasing out a school in the name of Paul Roberson, a most noble man of African descent who was a scholar, an athlete, and an artist of note, and who was one whose family, his son allowed for this school to be named after his father because he believed that it would be worthy. That's right. Although we have some challenges, all of us together want to make a difference and help put it together. It's like, sometimes it's like Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty will fall, but all the king's horses and all the king's men and all the people put it back together again. Let's do that for Paul Roberson High School.